Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome to Mathematics 5, Quarter 2, Week number 5. So, our learning competency for this day, at the end of the lesson, you should be able to estimate the product of decimal numbers with reasonable result and solve routine and non-routine problem involving multiplication without or with addition or subtraction of decimals and whole numbers including money using appropriate problem-solving strategies and tools. So we are now in lesson number 9 of our most essential learning, estimates the product of decimal numbers with reasonable result. So how to estimate a product with reasonable result? So step number 1, we're going to write the equation in correct column. Next, step number 2, we're going to round each factor to the greatest place value. Remember, if the number of the round followed less than 5, round down, more than 5, round up. Okay. Next, step number 3, multiply the rounded factors. Count the number of zeros, then multiply. And then step number 4, you're going to present your answer. So let's proceed to example number 1 to further analyze how to estimate the product of or how to estimate the product of decimal numbers. So step number 1, you write the equation in correct column. So you're going to write the equation in correct column. So you're going to move or and 50/100s multiplied by 7 and 5 tenths. And then after that, we're going to proceed to step number 2, round each factor to the greatest place value. Remember, okay, so let's proceed. Let's round these factors. So round this one to the highest place value. The highest place value is 5. So tens. So it it is the value is 5, so it would be round up because more than 5 or more, so it would be round up. So this would be 5, and then this would be, so this would be round up also, so this would be 8. So the factors now, so the rounded factors now are 5 and 8. Next, let's proceed to step number 3. Multiply the rounded factors. So the rounded factors are 8 and 5. So let's multiply 8 times 5. The answer is 40. So step number 4. So present your answer. The answer would be 40. Answer would be 40. Okay, next. So sample number 2, estimate the product of 62 and 45 hundreds multiplied by 3 and 8 tenths. So step number 1 again. So write the equation in correct column. So it's to write 62 and 45 hundreds multiplied by 3 and 8 tenths. Then next, we're going to proceed to step number 2. So round each factor to the highest place value or the greatest place value. So round this one, so the rounded value would be 62. And then the rounded value of the second factor is 4. Now, Let's proceed to example, step number 3. Multiply the rounded factor. Again, the rounded value of 62 and 45 hundredths is 62 because round down, and then the rounded value of 3 and 8 tenths is 4. And then let's multiply 62 multiplied by 4. So 4 times 2, the answer is 8. And then 4 times 6, the answer is 24. So the answer would be the estimated product of 62 and 45 hundredths multiplied by 3 and 8 tenths would be 248. This would be estimated. Okay. So let's check if our answer is correct. So let's multiply 62 and 45 hundredths multiplied by 3 and 8 tenths. So let's multiply 8 times 5. The answer is 40. Regroup 4. And then 8 times 2, 32 plus 4. The answer is 36. So regroup 3. 8 times 2, the answer is 16 plus 3, the answer would be 19, regroup 1. And then 8 times 6, the answer would be 48 plus 1 would be 49. Okay, 49. 49. And then multiply 3 to 5, we have 15, regroup 1. And then 3 multiplied by 4, the answer is 12. Plus 1, the answer would be 13. And then 3 times 2, 6 plus 1, the answer would be 7. And then 3 times 6, the answer is 18. And then add, bring down 0. 6 plus 5 is 11. Regroup 1. 1 plus 9, 10 is plus 3, 13. Regroup 1. 1 plus 9, 10 plus 7 is 17. Regroup 1 and 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 8 is 13. Regroup 1 and 1 plus 1 we have 2. And then count the number of decimal places in the first factor. We have 1, 2. Then the second factor we have 1. So how many decimal places? We have 1, 2, 3. So count from right going to the left. We have 1, 2, 3. Then place the decimal point. So now the product of 62 and 45 hundredths multiplied by 3 and 8 tenths would be 237 and 310 10,000 thousands. So this would be closest to each other. So our answer would be correct. Okay, now let's have a practice. So letter A, try this direction. You're going to estimate the product of each number. So you have 2 minutes to perform these two numbers. So your timer starts now. 1 minute left, grade 5 pupils. You're going to estimated first the first factor and the second factor and then multiply. Then the same procedure in example number 2. You're going to find the rounded number first, the estimated rounded number of the first factor and the second factor, and then proceed to multiply. Okay, you have 20 seconds left. 10 seconds. Okay, time's up. Now, let's check your work. So the correct answer in number 1, we have 6,104. So how do I arrive that answer? So first, we're going to round the first factor to the highest greatest place value. So this would be, the rounded value would be 1,526 because it is round up. And then in the second factor, we have the rounded value is 4. Then we're going to perform multiplication. So for times 6, the answer is 24. For group 2 and 8, 4 times 2 is 8 plus 2, we have 10. For group 1, 4 times 5 is 20 plus 1 is 21, repeat 2. And then 4 times 1, the answer is 4. Plus 2, we have 6. So the correct answer is 6,104. And then for number 2, the correct answer would be 330 because we're going to round the first factor. The rounded value would be 55 because it's round up. Then in second factor, the rounded value is 6. So let's multiply. So 6 times 5, the answer is 30. Then group 3, 6 times 5, the answer is 30. Plus 3, we have 33. So he got the correct answer. Okay. So I hope grade 5 pupils, you already know how to estimate the product of two decimal numbers. So now let's proceed in lesson number 10. Solve routine and non-routine problem involving multiplication without or with addition or subtraction of decimal and whole numbers, including money, using appropriate problem-solving strategies and tools. So now, let's proceed in problem number 1. Aling Lily helped his husband to earn a living. She goes to market and bought 15 kilograms of dresses chicken to sell at home. If a kilo of chicken costs 165 and 50 hundreds, how much did she pay for the chicken? So we're going to use again the four steps of Olias. We have understand, plan, solve, and look back. So know what is asked, what are the given, determine the operation to be used and write the number sentence. Solve the number sentence and write the complete solution and look back, write and check the answer. So again, it's going back to our problem. Let's understand what is asked in the problem with 5 pupils. Very good. So the total amount of chicken did Aling Lily caught? And then, what are the given? The given are 15 kilograms of chicken bought and 165 pesos and 50 centavos cost of a kilogram or kilo of chicken. And then what would the operation to be used? The operation to be used is multiplication. And then we're going to plan what is the correct number sentence. The correct number sentence is 165 and 50 hundreds multiplied by 15 is equal to n. Then, where n is the total amount of the chicken did Aling Lily bought. Then, we're going to solve the number sentence. So, align the decimal numbers in columns. So, 5 multiplied by 0, the answer would be 0. And then 5 multiplied by 5, the answer would be 25. Regroup 2. Then 5 multiplied by 5, the answer would be 25 plus 2, we have 27. And then regroup 2. Then 5 multiplied by 6, the answer is 30 plus 2, we have 32. And then regroup 3. Then 5 multiplied by 1, the answer is 5 plus 3, we have 8. And then 1 multiplied by 0, the answer would be 0. And then 1 multiplied by 5, the answer would be 5. And then 1 multiplied by 5 is 5. Then 1 multiplied by 6 is 6. And then 1 multiplied by 1, the answer is 1. Okay, now let's perform the operation addition. So 0, 5, 12, the group 1. Then 1 plus 2 plus 5, we have 8. 8 plus 6, we have 14. Then regroup 1. Then 1 plus 1, we have 2. So count the number of decimal places in the first factor. We have 2. The second factor is none because this would be a whole number. So the total of decimal places, we have 2. So count from left going to the right. From right going to the left, we have 1, 2. So write the decimal point. So the final answer is 2,482 and 50 hundreds. So therefore, the total amount of chicken did Aling Lily bought is 2,482 and 50 hundreds pesos. So that would be the first problem. And then let's proceed to the second problem. The second problem is Mary may prepare a sandwich for a birthday party of her younger brother. She bought six loaves of bread at 35 pesos each, two bottles of mayonnaise at 55 and 50 hundreds pesos a bottle, and and 5 10 kilogram of ham at 240 pesos a kilogram. And how much change did she receive for her 1,000 peso bill? Now, let's understand the problem. What is as in the problem? Very good. So, the total change did she get from her 1,000 peso bill? And then, what would be the given? The given are 6 loaves of bread at 35 pesos and 50 hundreds each, 2 bottles of mayonnaise at 55 and 50 hundreds a bottle, and 1 and 5 10 kilograms of ham at 240 pesos a kilogram. And then we're going to plan what would be the operation to be used. The operation to be used is addition, subtraction, and multiplication. So let's proceed to our number sentence. So the number sentence would be 1000 minus 6 multiplied by 35 plus 2 multiplied by 55 and 50 hundreds plus 1 and 5 tenths multiplied by 240 is equal to n. So where n is a total change did she get from her 1,000 peso bill. Now let's proceed to solve. So first, we're going to perform the operation inside the parentheses. So let's multiply 35 multiplied by 6. The answer would be, so 5 times 6, the answer is 30. Regroup 3. 6 multiplied by 3, the answer is 18 plus 3, the answer is 21. So this would be 210. And then 2 multiplied by 55 and 50 hundreds multiplied by 2. Then 2 multiplied by 0, 0. 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. 2 multiplied by 5 is 10 plus 1 is 11. And group 1, 2 multiplied by 5 is 10 plus 1 is 11. Now count the number of decimal places. We have 2, 1, 2. So the answer would be plus 111. Then plus this would be a braces plus 240 multiplied by 1 and 5 tenths. 5 times 0, the answer is 0. 5 times 4, the answer is 20. Regroup 2. 5 times 2, the answer is 10 plus 2, we have 12. And then 1 times 0, the answer is 0. 1 times 4, the answer is 4. 1 times 2, the answer is 2. Perform the operation. 0, 0, 6, and 1 plus 2, we have 3. Then count the number of decimal places. In the first factor, we have 0. This would be 1. So the total number of decimal places is 1. Then count from right going to the left, we have 1. So this would be the decimal, the place where in the decimal point. So 360. So we have 360. So bases is equal to n 1,000. Okay. Now let's erase this one. Okay. Now, okay, so let's perform the addition operation. We have two. We have 200, 210 plus 111 plus 360. This would be the amount of chicken did she paid in the market. So 0 plus 1 plus 0, we have 1. 1 plus 1 plus 6, we have 8. And 2 plus 1 plus 3, we have 6. So the total amount that she paid in the market is 681 pesos is equal to n. Then we're going to subtract this one to 1,000 to get the change. So 1,000 subtracted by 681. So 0 minus 1 cannot be. We're going to borrow, borrow, borrow. So it becomes 0, it becomes 10. Borrow again, it becomes 10. Becomes 9, it becomes 10, and then becomes 9, it becomes 10. Then 10 minus 1, the answer is 9, and then 9 minus 8, the answer would be 1, and then 6, and 9 minus 6, the answer is 3. So the value of n is equal to 391 pesos and 19 pesos. So that would be the value or the amount. Therefore, the change did she get from the 1,000 peso bill. Okay. Now, for your reminders, grade 5 pupils, so you're going to answer page 20 of your self-learning module. So you're going to answer what's more. So letter A and letter B. So that's all for today. Thank you and God bless.